So there's nothing you can want, but then that would be so boring life, there wouldn't be?
Why?
Why? If I give you a satisfaction of everything in this world, what
Yeah.
is that need of wanting you to actually progress in life?
Do you think this world is perfect?
It's not perfect. That's what I'm trying to understand between the
So,
world we're living in
okay,
now to the world
okay.
that the creative society is saying. Because I'm a believer, okay? I want the same kind of like utopia. I would look at it as utopia. Or I wanted a world that there's no violence, there's no injustice, there's no cruelty, there's no, you know, like one person is rich, the other person is not. But putting in progress to a world that is without all of those things, and you're saying that there's no leaders, it's all community based, and we have so many people supporting this group or supporting this movement. What is the first step to actually take over the world? You know, are we just talking about just to have this world on the internet and just coming together for people to just talk about it and that's it? Or are we actually going to take this creative society into the reality of life?
Yes, this is the purpose. It starts from talking about it. So informative stage, which is where we are at now. The next stage, once there is a majority of people that are actively interested in pursuing this creative society project to bring it to life, if you like, take us out of the consumerist society and take us into creative society.
But
What does create
so
mean?
before you
Hold
go
on.
further, what I want to know is that step, when now you're already talking, you're already having a lot of people agreeing with this lifestyle. So
Yeah.
how are you going to actually take that step to say, we're going to take over the world? We're going to actually start
We
this
don't.
movement into what? One country? Or is it going to be, how, I just want to know that step of how you're going to bring it into reality, how you're going to do
Okay.
that.
Okay. Okay. It's not going to happen overnight. It will be a transitional period. If people united together, if everybody wants the same thing, surely if they sit down, whether it's online, whether it's when they meet together, whether it's in different groups, and then meet in one big meeting, if you like, this is the final stage, which would be the world referendum. Okay. Firstly, you have to get the majority to then approach the politicians. Politicians are, as you know, in England, we vote for our politicians, and they're supposed to do what we want them to do. And when politicians go into power, they magically transform, and very often they can't keep their promises. And this isn't the only country. You take any country in the world, same thing happens. Because at the end of the day, when you have a consumerist-based society, everything is run around money, around loyalties, as it were. Where, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and, you know, we'll be all right. You do push some laws for me, and this is just my opinion, so, you know. And then nothing gets done for everybody else, or gets done, but not to the way we wanted it to be done. Somebody else benefits. In creative society, where you self-governance, what it means, you will still have politicians, but they would be doing what people want. And they will be accountable for that until we have no need for politicians, until society will run by itself, where people would go and do the jobs they love doing, they will study things they want to study. The technology advancement, as you know, progresses so fast. There is nothing stopping technology taking over most of the jobs that we don't want to do. Like cleaning, for example, we know robots, you know, we get robots now, they're being developed quite massively now in many different countries. IT technologies are progressing super fast. What you probably can't see at the moment, and that's not just you, it's for many millions, billions people in the world, because they don't know if there is any alternatives. If you can show an alternative, people will then start thinking differently, and the whole society will change for the better. I will bring one example. I will bring one example for you. Dubai, for instance, okay, is a place built in the desert, in the middle of the desert. We have the technology today to turn deserts into blooming forests, if you like, or greenery. You know, we could bring water there. We could do all sorts of things. This is just one little example. There is a technology, but unfortunately, it is limited by one particular country where there's loads of money. That's why people get envious, because somebody has, somebody hasn't. But if everybody has, there'll be no need to compete for survival. There'll be other things that people compete for, like improving the society, making it better, like inventing new technologies that would allow us to fly, you know, from one spot to another in minutes. You know, this is just my imagination. But you can look at sci-fi movies, for instance. You know, you can see spaceships. They could fly to other planets, other galaxies.
Yeah, but that is someone who thought about it and created a piece of writing and actually created a movie. But what we're trying to say here is actually saying to people, this world, you can have everything. But how can you have everything? What would happen to those people who are rich? Are you going to tell them, excuse me, but all your money you have to put in one pot? Are you going to tell people that no more rich, you cannot be rich, everyone's going to be on the same level? And another thing is that in creative society is they don't want to, you know, I don't see anywhere about, you know, religion. So what, you're going to wipe out the religion? How is that going to work?
No. None of that. As I said to you, the point is, there will be a transitional period. When the society advances enough, they will have no need for money. There will be other ways of exchanging skills, I don't know, time, you know, the time that you spend doing whatever you want to do. Rich people, they can be rich, that's fine. You know, if somebody has invented something and made something that benefits everybody, why not? But there has to be a cap. What we see at the moment is that rich people getting richer, poor people getting poorer. And this has been for centuries. It's not new. I mean, there's some researchers, I can't remember their names, but they've done a book on where they researched the wealthiest families in Britain 1,000 years ago and now. And they're the same names. They're not changed. So with all the taxation, which supposedly is fair and square in this country, why is this still the same? So,
you're saying in creative society, a person can be rich. And you're saying there should be caps. So people can actually have kind of like, you are creative, you are talented, and you become rich, and that's okay. And even that is happening right now in a way that you have a way to do that. But in creative society, you're saying that starting, we have to introduce it to the politician, the majority that the same thing that we created, or we let our politicians started, and we're having our president and choosing the president. And that is the similar way you're going to do to introduce the creative society. Now, so at the beginning, it will be politicians still having the lead to, you know, ensure this process is being done. And you're saying to me that the money, or there's no need for money. So
no, what I'm saying is there will come a time when the society is developed enough where there'll be no need for money. Because everyone will know what they're supposed to do, and they will do it because they want to do it, because they'll be doing jobs they love doing. It will not be a fight for survival. It will be a pleasure to live on this planet.
So what you're saying to me is that you don't work to live, you work to enjoy. Is that what you're saying to me?
Roughly, yes. Roughly
Okay.
that, yeah.
Another thing is that the climate change, the nuclear power, all these things that are affecting our countries and affecting our environment, what is going to happen to those things?
There are alternative sources of power, and those will develop, no doubt, because in creative society, the idea is to do no harm, not only to another human being, but to your environment. So imagine the whole planet is now united, okay? And we have problems. We have climate problems, for example. We have pollution problem, for example. Those problems will be addressed on a planetary scale. And if you have a whole society that's united in one, as one family, you will be able to bring the best brains in the world together to resolve those problems. And also, one other thing, in creative society, because it's not a consumerist-orientated society, they will not be keeping secret technologies that are beneficial to all of humanity. A good example would be Tesla. Tesla came out too early for his time, and he got suppressed by the big corporations. It's a well-known fact, and he's invented so many things. He patented over 800 inventions. If that was taken and implemented then, we would live in a completely different society.
What you're saying, it's true in a way, because if you look at, so we're both learning psychology, yeah? And I love Freud, for example. And so Freud came and introduced his idea to people, and he got shut down because it was in its time. Now, that I do understand. But here we're talking about the whole world to change and become this different type that we already used to. This present life is not existing. And I believe it's going to take time to actually happen. This process, that process of creative society that they want it to happen, it will take time. Another thing is that for every person to go to school, for example, and they're getting education, what I'm trying to say is that how creative society can actually implement with religion-based and the creative society ideology of what it wants to be. Where is that going to join, or is it going to take separate routes? Can you please explain it to me there?
Very, very easy. We had a massive conference on the 20th of March. I don't know if you watched it. It was well advertised, and we've had quite a lot of views. We suspect, we can't say exactly, that over 5 million people watched that conference. It's a long conference, but there is a lot of factual information there about religion and how every prophet, the actual conference was called What Prophets were dreaming or dreamt of. Okay, what prophets dreamt of. Every single prophet that we had on this planet, Christ, Muhammad, everybody that came before, Buddha, they all were talking about creative society. With time, their teachings were modified, shall we put it, mistranslated, misrepresented, misinterpreted, you know, and that caused division. Look at Christianity. How divided is Christianity? I mean, look at Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him. Even Muslim religion is divided, not as badly, I suspect, as Christianity, but still. It's one, you know, the information they were coming out with was the same. It was just brought out at different times to different people with different understanding. so they would understand what the prophets were trying to bring forward to them, transmit, if you like. All of that. There is one God. There isn't two gods. There isn't three gods. There's one God. Every religion is a tradition, you know. Yeah, there's no problem with that, but you have to separate the truth from the chaffs. And Christianity is, me being a Christian, I know how many chaffs are in Christianity, and a lot of confusion, a lot of dogmas, and that, in fact, what Christianity is supposed to do, instead it pushes people away from religion, because they don't understand it. You know, a lot of things don't make sense for them, you know.
But at the same time, we have this one agreement, and that agreement is that God created Adam and Eve, or in ours we'll say Hawa, but there was also a Satan. And Satan's promise is that he's going to take as many humans as possible and destroy the humanity. That's one main promise that he made to God. Now God said, yeah, go for it, because I believe my people will do good and I trust in that. Now, Creative Society is saying, no, we're going to stop the jealousy, we're going to stop the humans hurting other humans, and we're going to ensure the world become a perfect place. Where would the Satan go? You're telling him to retire and go home, or how is that going to happen? Because let's be realistic here, because he's going to be until the end of days. So what I'm trying to say is that you don't even need Satan sometimes. Our own human minds can do damage things. You know what I mean? And this is where I have to question the Creative Society, because if we're run by other humans, are we going to be, you know, like, this is the rules, if you don't agree, you have to leave? Is that the way it's going to be?
No, it's...
Please tell me.
You see, yeah, I will tell you. The way you representing it as if we're going to come up with a, I don't know, with a big stick with Creative Society written on it and say, you must now join us and that's it. There is no...
That's what happened to Crusaders, isn't it? And that's what they killed so many people. You joined our religion or you're out. So that's why I was asking, you know, when you go to the politician and you say the majority of the community says Creative Society, we are taking over.
Okay, so as far as Crusaders are concerned, we've done a very nice kaleidoscope of facts about Crusaders. In the beginning, Crusaders were doing God's work, and then, as any organization, they've changed, their purpose changed, and they got corrupted. So anything and everything in this world, unfortunately, like you quite rightly pointed out, Satan has not gone away and is never going to go away.
Nope.
And you cannot destroy Satan, he will always exist. Yeah. What you can do is you can make him weak. And what you can do is you can ignore him and you cannot serve him. You can move away from Satan to God. And that way Satan becomes very weak, and then he can't do as much as he can now because he's super strong at the moment. And you can see that from the actions and the aims of the people that they have in their lives.
That is so true. But then also God said, you know, I didn't make you into a slave so you will follow me. I gave you a choice, so you choose me as your God and submit to me. So what I'm trying to say here is that that was a choice of individuals, isn't it? And that is the Creative Society is doing similar thing. You have to choose Creative Society for you to be able to live free, isn't it?
If you want to, if that's entirely your choice.
Exactly, and that's what I just said.
Because that choice is given to us by God, and not even Satan would come in and, you know, stop you from having that choice. Satan can suggest to you, he can whisper,
Yeah, that's all he can do is whisper. He doesn't pick your hand and do it. He whispers. That's the thing.
Thank you.
Okay, he's weak, like you said, but we make him as something bigger than that.
There you go.
So
you
I
said
will add just something that God doesn't have hands and Satan doesn't have hands. God act through our hands and Satan act through our hands. So it depends what we're choosing. Choosing to act to serve God or choosing to act to serve Satan. So this is what is about creative society. We all choose to serve God and to do good for us and for people. So it's simple. It's very simple to make a right choice.
But so, at the same time, Elena, what you're saying is that it's very simple, but it's not very simple because the world will be perfect already. If that was the choice from the time you're born, and just say, just choose God or Satan. Oh, I'll choose God. Okay, then you're safe. God, you're safe. You go to the the perfect planet. But life is not like that. So what I'm trying to say is that what you're doing for the creative society is getting people to choose creative society because they believe in that life. And for the people who don't believe in that life, this is where my argument comes in. How and what are you, what is are you going to convert them? What is going to be? Or is it going to be, okay, in Western country, the people, they don't believe in it. In other countries, the people believe in it. How is that going to be?
Could I ask this question? Answer this question. So, in this situation, you said you can't choose who to serve, God or Satan, because we are in this ambience, which we are very, we have a lot of provocations, creative society is a society where we're building conditions for people to have a decent life and to think about their spirituality. And the creative society is not a final. The final is the ideal society. The creative society is just a bridge between consumerist format of society and ideal society. So we are trying to give the people the choice, the choice to choose which kind of society they would like to live in. And together we could do whatever we are deciding to do for building the creative society. And to live a creative society, we could start today. We don't need to wait until, 5-10 years. Just implementing the first foundation is changing your life. Just thinking human life, if we are giving value to everybody around us, how our life will change. Just make this question, because we have some examples already. The people already decided to implement this foundation to their life. So we had example from one entrepreneur in Czech Republic. He decided to discuss with his staff and to implement this foundation and their enterprise. And they said everything changed. The productivity changed. The responsibility of every single person changed. The family, the people, these men who are going back home and having family. So everything changed. Approach to life changed. It's about us. We don't have to wait.
But what you're saying, Elena, listen, for me, the way I see it is that what you actually say is something that is not in practice. Like if you go to Russia or if you go to one country, you will see this is the way they lived in reality. For people like myself or other kind of person who wants to actually see it, to say it is working. Because if I read it, oh my goodness, I'm in love with it, you know what I mean? Because it's all the things that I want for myself, but also for my children. And that's what that creative society is, saying that they can provide. But what I'm saying is that what Edward was already explaining, is that how would that come in place? For me, it will take a bit of time to actually say, okay, I believe in creative society 100%
Okay.
because I know this is the way forward. But
Very
end
clear.
of
I
the
will tell
day,
you.
this
I
is
will
not
tell
just
you how.
my opinion here, it's for
Listen.
everybody else out there. And
Listen,
to be honest, if you're interested, go and Google Creative Society or alatraunites.com, and you can actually follow, or you can be participant in it, because everyone is volunteering, like they said. And the most important thing here is that you have a choice to actually choose this movement and go with it and take it as further as I cannot see it, or as far as anyone else can say, because the whole point of Creative Society is that they want to make a difference in this world. Now, you can see that they've done a lot of interviews, and I've been into the interview myself, so you'll see my interview as well. Now, can you tell us, Edward or Elena, about your journey in Creative Society? How many people have you actually spoken with, and maybe even follow up with the, with the Creative Society, what they think, and are they still in that belief system? What is your journey is about, and how did you find it so far?
I will just first I will say, Barky, that nearly 8 billion of people is our goal to inform everybody. So we didn't inform yet these 8 billion of people. But we are a good point, because we have a lot of international televisions like Alatra TV UK, we have Alatra TV North America, we have Alatra TV Africa, India, Bangladesh. We have a lot of Alatra TV Russia, Ukraine, Italy, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, everywhere. So a lot of people talking every day with people all over the world about Creative Society, and asking how do people envision the Creative Society. This is how about my journey. I'm interviewing, like sometimes I'm as a host, sometimes not, but my main thing is to talk to people, to explain the project, to let them understand what is it about, and to bring all the information that I know, and to answer all the questions that I can to understand these projects, and to invite people to be involved in this project, because this project is not for few. This project for whole humanity. This is project, a global international project. It's not only Alatra volunteers, absolutely not. And actually, how it said, every day a lot of people are joining and joining, because the people see this only one, way out from the situation which we are in this moment. And the people have hope. The people start to live like this. How you said before about the Russia, of course, not everywhere the people are living like this, because not all of the people know about this project. But the people who already know project, believe me, they start to live differently, who choose to participate on this project, who choose to implement this project into their personal life. Their life changed. And I could tell you, my family, because we as a participant of this project, we strongly believe that all humanity is a big human family. And every day my family, my personal human family becomes wider and wider, because every single time when we're talking to the people, and we are, doesn't matter which social status, doesn't matter which is the titles, profession, we are humans. We're talking on the same language, a language of humanity, and the people act accordingly to as a human being, and they all want to live in this creative society. So what we have to do, we just implement, we just share about it. And of course, when all the people, how you said, nearly 8 billion of people will know about Creative Society, believe me, everything will change. Everything. So it's easy to join, easy to talk, easy to spread in.
I will just add a little bit to that. What Elena said, Berke, is the point you brought up earlier about how is this going to happen. I can't, you would like to see this implemented. You love it and everything like that. I will bring you an example. Alatra TV UK. What is that? That's just few people that got together and said, look, let's start a YouTube channel. And we're going to interview people about Creative Society. We interviewed as many people as we can. You see, the people that do the interviews are different. Whoever can spare time to do it at a certain day, certain time, or maybe they want to interview certain people, it accords, with their interests. And that's how it slowly builds up. So one person we spoke to, then that person introduces, you've been there yourself, introduces another person. And so the chain becomes alive and it moves on and on and on. Creative Society, why it's like that is it's not only knowing about it. A lot of people feel that they can actually do something about it to bring it forth quicker. There are a lot of people that are in IT, for example, that got interested in that and they wanted to help, and they do that in their spare time. They design websites, they do, some people go and learn about video editing, some people learn about sound, and all of that put together, it's a general effort of many different people from different places around the world. Whoever can spare time, they will go and say, look, I'm free, I can do so-and-so, I can do so-and-so. And projects come alive, they become active, they become made, So first you have an idea, there's a thought, you implement that idea with words, you share that with somebody else then helps you. I mean, take me for example. I'm not good with technology, I'm useless at technology. I can barely use my phone and go online, on the computer. And I type very slowly, but there are people that can do that a lot better than me. And so they do. They find it that it takes them, what would take me hours, takes them minutes. And they enjoy doing it because they know that they're doing this for everybody. They're not doing this just for themselves. And with that, that gives me great inspiration because you see how much people want this Creative Society, how much effort they put in, how many hours, unpaid hours they put in to implement this, to bring awareness, get people to wake up, maybe not the right word, but just to become aware of it and do something. If you're going to sit at home and do nothing, yes, somebody else will do it. It's going to be harder and it'll take longer. But if you join and you do your little bit, and there is thousands or millions of people that do their little bit, this will happen in no time. It will happen very, very quickly. And the need for it is obvious because the climate changes, the conflicts around the world. We have the virus, we have loads of problems that need resolving. And those problems can be resolved together as one family, That's how I get my inspiration. I see people do something and I go, look, I'm not very good at this, I'm not very good at that, but I can do this. I can talk, as you can notice, right? I can talk a lot. And maybe that will help somebody. Maybe this will bring that, I don't know, that spark, that a bit of inspiration that they might want to implement in their lives. And why is it good? Because it's local. Somebody from, for example, maybe Birmingham, let it be Birmingham, will watch this video and go, hold on a minute, we haven't got anything like that around here. Let me do some. Let me see how many people are interested in my area. You meet a lot of new people. And everyone is doing this from their spiritual side, They're not doing this from their animal consumerist side. They're doing this out of love for humanity, to themselves, to their families, to their future.
Well, I guess that what you're actually doing is already starting the movement of the Creative Society in a way that you come as a volunteer and it's not about the money, it's actually about your talent. And what you're trying to say is that if you can do that, then maybe we can be able to actually build this world. Now, it's not a bad thing. Like I said, it's an amazing thing. And it's something that every individual have to make a choice for themselves. Now, we already know where to actually look for the allatraunites.com, and you can sign up and be part of it, part of that journey. And also, we'll have to watch this space for them to actually bring it to the real world, and I cannot wait. And thank you so much, Edward, Eleanor, for being here today and to share your insight of Allatra Unites and also Creative Society. Now, I am so grateful and I am so happy that you're both here and to share that stories of yourselves and also what impact you've already created in Creative Society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barki.
And for everybody else at home, I hope you got an insight of this project and the movement itself. And it's up to you now what you want to do and where to start, because it doesn't come that easy, or it doesn't come in a way that it comes to you. You have to go and actually make it happen. So I wish you all the best. Until next time, take care, everybody.
And you. Thank you.